back to the Carlisle Med Gym for yet another week of hip mobility training here. We're in week 8 now. We've been talking about a series of hip mobility drills that you can do right now to work on improving your hip mobility, to keep your low back and your knees healthy, and to make sure you're moving well through your hips. So today we're going to talk about something called a half-kneeling adductor dip. And so I'm going to set up on this pad right here. I'm going to go over it, talk a little bit about the benefits of the adductor dip and why stretching the adductor muscle group is a big key to your hip mobility. So as we set up down here, I'm going to take this pad, and we went over a hip flexor stretch earlier where we're going straight forward and stretching the front of the hip flexor. Now we're going to go out to the side and we're going to go straight laterally. So with this one, we're getting a pretty good groin or adductor stretch, and the adductor is really a big muscle group that gets kind of ignored. And so a lot of times when people lack hip mobility, especially this external rotation we've been talking about, they have a lot of tightness through the adductor and the groin region. So we're going to get some work on that, and today we're going to just open up the hip, keep the torso straight on, nice and tall, and we're going to dip or glide laterally, knee over toe, and back up. So you might be a little bit limited at first, but we're getting a pretty good stretch on both sides. So this leg's going into abduction, getting taken out that way. This leg, we're going with external rotation, abduction, and getting a lot of good groin adductor stretch as well as some ankle mobility work. So as I adjust this according to what I need, I can either go a little farther out and get a lot more stretch on the groin, or I can come back a little bit and just bias it more towards ankle mobility while still getting a good adductor stretch. So if I show you on the other side, again, you'll notice that I'm not letting the knee dive in. I'm staying tall, and I'm usually like to put a hand here to make sure that we're not losing control of that knee position. So knee straight over toe, gliding laterally, and that's the half-kneeling adductor dip.